Babwe Banter, Babwe Banter.
South Africa are back-to-back Rugby World Cup champions. They stand alone with a full Webb Ellis Cup.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Babwe Banter, the final of the Rugby World Cup show. JJ, are you happy?
Ecstatic, Matty, my boy. How was that?
How was that? Moshi? How's it, my boy? How are you doing?
Moshi,
Funny?
commiserations.
Support Rugby was brilliant. Brilliant.
I believe you're a Wales supporter.
I guess I am.
Wow. Well, yeah, shit. Well, tell us, what do you have to say there, Moshi? You had a lot of homework that you've done. What do you have to tell us?
Hey, it was a tough day. It was a
Tough day in the office, was it?
tough evening, must I say. My phone was off, so I can admit that. However, I would say, look, it was a good game.
Cracking game.
It was a cracking game. Kept us on our feet the whole way. I can say I'm proud of how the All Blacks conducted themselves, considering I thought we were going to get smashed once we got that red card. But the fact that we had a winning chance and we basically was ours to lose.
South Africa had the first half, JJ.
They did.
They looked like a much better performing team than they have the whole World Cup.
Yeah.
Their structures were coming together. They won most of their first phase ball in the first half. And I think that helped a lot because they set it up. Having Pollard there helped a lot.
Yes, definitely.
His kicking was on point.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that New Zealand didn't have.
Yeah,
You had
That was a bit of a shocker. Hey,
two missed
Richie
kicks.
Mwanga misses two penalties and Jody Barrett, the long range
Richie
one.
Moyanga won from the corner from a try, and what a penalty! And then
And then Jody's.
so three missed kicks,
Yeah. So
and
three missed
everyone
kicks, red card, and 0 tries from South Africa. These are the statistics. But apparently the ones that
Listen,
really
you were
matter,
sleeping. What are you
Yeah,
talking about? What are you
really matter are the 11, 12. Apparently these are the most important statistics
Well, Fundi,
to consider.
Whose name is on the cup?
All
tell
I'm
us.
saying, all I'm
No,
saying,
tell us whose name's there.
all I'm saying.
So now that that's settled,
A win's a win.
So Sleeping Beauty
I
didn't
win.
even watch the game.
you know,
I wanted to.
you can go back as far as you want, but South Africa did what they needed to do throughout the whole tournament. You can't go to one game and say,
Here's an interesting stat for you. South Africa have only played in 8 World Cups. I think there's been, 12?
Yeah.
In 8 World Cups, they've won 50% of.
they're a World Cup winning team.
You guys have had definitely this World Cup. You had 1 point to prove.
And they did.
Yeah,
And they did.
Very true.
You can go back to them even grinding out their wins as far back as the British and Irish Lions, which after COVID, everyone said, oh, well, South Africa haven't proven that they're world-class leading, whatever you want to say. They beat the British and Irish Lions, which is a feat, and I think they probably did it by 1 point. I can't remember, maybe 2. But take it back to their winning ways have stuck with them. And even the Ireland game, that ball was out.
Yeah.
And had they got that, they would have got over the trial and they would have won that.
True.
And they know how to come back and they know how to keep it until the end. And they nearly did it there. It was literally, and everyone can complain about the ref on this game. We could have complained about the ref on that game. It wasn't the final.
So can I talk about that with? So I'm tired of guys coming out with refs and stuff like that. And I guess fortunately because we lost, so obviously South Africans aren't hard on them. But it's something that we've spoken about on this. I don't know if it was this season or you spoke before in the episode. Is the TMO? I think that's just the fourth right there. We just need to sort out that TMO because we need to figure out what's the difference between mitigating factors and malicious.
And I also
know?
think in slow motion things look very different.
Yeah, absolutely.
They must play it in full time and have a look at what it was like, because
Real
that
time?
slowing it down too much and having a look at it in slow motion does make
After all, it is rugby. You know, people do get tackled with shoulders first, and then you wrap around.
I don't think the problem is the TMO per se. It's the TMO has been instructed by World Rugby. If there's any head contact, you've got to go back and check it.
So
going back to that again, tackle low.
Yeah.
You know what?
pretty
Everyone
much.
can
And-
complain about whatever
to
you
be-
want.
to
You
be
know
really
they're going to
honest,
be looking.
South Africa is doing a really good job at that, actually.
They did so well with
So
their
well.
penalties.
Yeah.
They
I can't
you know,
even hate on that.
So look, here's the thing. I want to address that, and I'm with you on that, JJ. You know, so my thing is the reason why I bring up the TMO, and I'll give you why I'm thinking about this, is I've had time to think about it, and since we have spoken about it in time,
Well, you've
in
got 4
space,
years to think about
is you know, fair enough.
After our loss, that's what we can think about.
When we look at it, as you were saying, like all fairness, Sam Kane should have gone low. That's the biggest thing that I accept, and I'm like, Sam Kane
and Khaleesi.
and Khaleesi too.
It was, if it was shoulder
But
to
it's
head, it would have been the same. We would have had our
Malice
captain
is
off.
important.
It was head
Malice
to head.
is he actually was bent at the hips.
Yeah,
That's
but
where
I'm
the
saying
mitigation
Malice.
came.
But I'm saying Malice should definitely be in there, because let's think about this. TMO gets involved, right? Like we say that World Rugby says that, but TMO gets involved at random times, right? And at times where like just let the referee, you know what I mean? And there's times where if you saw how RD Sevilla was not wrong. I mean, yes, the referee made a wrong call there when he hooked the ball. Fair enough. Why didn't TMO say let's go back? So you can't have it either way. You have to have like
So
TMO.
with
if you find-
TMO's main objective in a game is foul play.
yeah.
That's
And I hear you, but let's think about it. Anything in slow motion
Looks different.
way worse than it does, and that's why either malice or we just go back to that thing where
So,
you know, back
so
in the
it's
day
a
where
tight
people
call,
kept
Marshy,
it.
here,
Yeah.
because we have rugby players that are taking World Rugby to court for brain injuries that have happened in World Cups before.
100%.
We have issues around that. Now, people are complaining about how it's being reffed, but it's quite simple.
Yeah.
Don't put your head or your shoulder into someone else's head or shoulder, or you're going to be in trouble. So let's forget about all the other stuff. It's because of the issues that have arisen, because of people
All the
suing.
all the legal problems,
It's a real problem.
There's nothing wrong with that, but I'm saying just go back to what we did with the tennis thing, where we used it at some stage. I can't remember when it was, where the captain can challenge, and if the captain doesn't challenge, then just
It's going to just get so long-winded. I think they need to try and shorten the problem, not lengthen
Yeah.
it. So anyway,
let the referees ref.
New month,
That's where I
the
feel.
beginning of 4 years begins again.
yeah, and
Let them make the mistake and let us cry about it. You know.
so player of the match,
Peter Steph Tutoy.
Yeah.
29 tackles,
28.
28
But
tackles.
sheesh, he put in quite a shift. Look at his
Doesn't
tackling
make
in the first
man
half.
of the match.
and tackling in the second. half.
Made man
Almost
of
like,
the match.
Yeah.
almost like he
Didn't
wasn't even tired.
didn't make the pick World 15. Did you have a look at that?
I did,
One
but I
person
think
made it into
is that for the awards?
Yeah.
I think with the awards that happened the day after the final,
Yeah.
it's
They're looking at
it's
the whole
throughout the year. It's not.
What is the point of that, JJ?
It's not what's happened at World Cup.
But you have the pinnacle, the peak of World Rugby happen the night. Why didn't they do it at the beginning of the World Cup?
Yeah.
What was the point?
Because it's the end of the season.
No,
And
come on,
I
guys. You
feel-
can't have the awards the night after the World Cup final and not acknowledge the people that
Who
finished
actually
off
made
the
the
whole
final,
thing and did
literally.
the final of the World Cup and won the World Cup, and you have one oak from the winning team in the main chosen team and any of the awards. Come on.
But look,
I'm with you there, Maddie,
It's
because
okay. It's okay, Maddie.
The French
It's okay.
are ruling this whole thing, and they've played it into their hands. And because it was in France, they decided to choose all their players.
Yeah,
And the
Maddie,
Irish.
If you look at,
I don't want to.
I read the explanations.
I don't want
JJ
to.
said, it's the whole year, dude.
I don't care. It's stupid.
I think
Sort it out.
I think they should have.
Honestly, because what is the point of a build-up
in a World Cup year, they should have separate awards.
Yeah,
because
on that.
the shift that
Because what's the point of a build-up to a final where you're not going to pick people who won in the final?
Exactly. It
Really,
makes,
they're the best.
in cricket, Lance Klusener was in the final. He didn't even make the final that year, but he was in the semi-final. He had the best betting stats only in the World Cup and won Player of the Year because of the World Cup.
And the stats showed it.
And the
right?
stats showed it. But if it had gone back to the year, he wouldn't have been anywhere. It's just stupid. World Rugby, you suck, you French. Yeah, it's not fair.
I think
Anyway.
it's something they've got to revisit.
I think it's still one.
That might be something we might have to cut out of the video.
It's not fair. No, keep it in. I want you to understand. I'm not happy about it.
So with that, Matty, so who would be in your top?
I'm just saying, Peter Steph Totoy would have been in my world player because, damn, when it comes to the most important game of all time,
So
that's the man you want to go to, don't you? You're going to go to some French joke who lost.
so 4 pool games,
Yeah.
and then you have
Come on.
quarterfinal, semi-final, final.
Yeah.
7 games. Peter Steph had one game where he wasn't bad, but he just didn't execute as well as he did the other 6 games.
And in the other 6, he was an absolute Trojan.
Yeah.
Statistics would
Well,
show.
so technically, I hear you because look, he's in my team, so I mean, I agree with you on that. But hey,
Tell us your team, Moshi.
so in my team, I got my list.
Yeah, let's see it. I know you've got your list. That's it. We want to know the
What is that
Mashi, his player of 15,
Okay.
his team that he would have chosen.
Yeah, I thought we were gonna go like each position, but each
Yeah,
position,
I chose mine.
Yeah.
It's South Africa.
1 to 23.
Yeah, sad. 1 to 20.
I don't know why your list differs.
I also don't know. No, it differs because let's be honest, there were some stand-up players.
Yeah.
Within
Yeah, in
the
South
game.
Africa.
That's true.
And for me, Ox,
From South Africa.
Jay,
Yeah.
number 1. The time
Number
that he
2,
came in was
Bongi.
fantastic. No,
Number 3,
I've got
France.
Pierre Tau. Pierre Tau from France was just fantastic.
Mhm.
I forget his name. Ben, the prop from Tonga. I think.
Ben Tamiafuna.
Yeah.
Big Ben.
Yeah.
Solid.
Well, remember where Ben's come from, eh? From
Yeah.
the Chiefs,
Chiefs.
in New Zealand.
145 kgs of how's it going, eh?
Yeah.
That
And he's got like a
is
son
solid.
apparently or something like that.
Eh?
Or he's the son of. Apparently there's like one of the other and the other one's on the loose.
Yeah.
It's like it's a whole descendant thing going on. The
Yeah.
dad's also like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
He's like that.
No, and that I can put in some hits, eh?
Yeah.
Ah, goodness
You can.
me. That's
So
not
what
something you
needs
want
to
to
be
run into.
recognized? I think he needs to be recognized for sure.
So-
Shout out to you for picking that up.
So I think what we can do is let's get our teams together for people that should have been noticed
That's
Yeah.
true. That's true.
for next week. That we can show to everyone and say, right,
And
This
you
is
guys
what
should
we
also
think.
comment in the
all the
comment
people that
section
got
below.
left behind that
Yeah.
should have been in on the list that weren't just from Ireland and France.
Oh, but yeah, true. But, I mean,
pretty
I've got-
much.
Yeah, let's have none of them in it.
Oh, no, but you have to. I mean,
No, it's fine,
that's
Mashi. That's you have to.
Centre pair was
You have to.
fantastic.
It's fine. It's
Right.
okay. We'll
It
deal
was.
with you having
And
a
Maddie,
couple
no
of them
1
thrown
to
in.
15 from South Africa, okay?
No, that's fine. We'll do players that shouldn't have been there. I'll put Leibach at fly off.
Yeah. If if they really need a sleeper, surely there's a physio position.
I
available.
told me when you said all of them for your 15, you're gonna put money. I was like, no, thank you. Over Mwanga, bro. No way.
I wouldn't have put Mwanga either. He sucks.
Well,
he missed 2 kicks in the
well,
final when it was the most important
well,
game of his life.
Yeah,
After the final,
Yeah.
it looks like they're on par. eh?
Yeah.
yeah, true. Fair enough.
Yeah.
And what's your guys' take on Kolisi being the second captain to go back to back?
I like it. Khalees is such an excellent leader. As much as it irks me that I have to deal with
Richie-
South African thingy, but Khaleesi and Richie.
Richie McCaw did it,
Mhm.
and everybody hailed him as the GOAT.
Yeah.
Now we've got Kolisi doing it.
And Khaleesi does it on the field. No one can. I
Yeah,
mean,
nobody
that
can deny that,
in all the finals, in all of it. In fact, in all the games he plays at 150%. He really puts his body, and it shows. That's why he's injured a lot, because he really
Yeah.
puts everything on the
He's
line,
a fantastic
and he
leader.
actually comes in on the right side of the ruck.
Yeah.
Yeah,
not the side door or in the front.
Richie McCaw.
Yeah, Richie McCaw door.
Come on.
Um,
You love Richie.
Of course we do.
Yeah,
Of course we do. No, it's fine, but we're allowed to have a crack at him. I mean,
Yeah,
come on.
true. That's very true.
You're not a rugby supporter unless you're going to say where Richie came in from.
Richie played
Yeah.
flank, yeah.
Yeah.
Something about
Yeah.
flank position there.
I know. Well, they're the hardest men on the field. I mean, that
100%.
those are
You're
some
hitting
built
that
for
9, you're hitting
tackling.
that 10.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
guys
I-
are machines.
Would have like Richie asked Richie Mwanga about Peter Steph to Toy, my boy.
Richie Mwanga, Jody Barrett.
Yeah, they are just like
That guy,
they will remember him for a long
That's what
time.
I'm happy about, because I'm wishing that Oaks can actually look at that and see that that's what flankers should be doing. Once
The tackles and stuff?
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
well.
And disrupting play as well.
We're going to show that clip with Peter Steph Toy smashing the New Zealanders now.
Mwanga again, he's got a lot to do at the moment. Quick hands here for Geordie Barrett at pace, the inside centre. Into Damian Dale, India's opposite number. Here's Shannon Frizzell. Will Jordan fumbles, picks it up and hit hard. At the front of the line out, Geordie Barrett is hit hard by Peter Steph du Toit. Pumps and then gets smoked by the 7. Smith to Mwanga to Geordie Barrett. Change of direction from Barrett. Pull this off, and it will be the greatest of all time. It got deflected, everyone's onside. Here come the All Blacks, and a big hit on Geordie Barrett from Peter Steph du Toit.
Nice. Yeah. Thank you. But actually with that, though, looking at that, if you look at the way even it was disrupting the play, because Oaks always think, oh, you have to tackle them, but you see some half the time he's knocking it out of their hands, which is
just a menace.
That's how you need to do it.
Yeah,
Done.
Skulkberger, Peter Steph du Toit, those Oaks, they were all that just a problem.
Yeah.
And that's what you want, that big problem, because wherever he goes, it's just a mess.
Yeah.
And that is what makes the best players in the world. And that's why I said I think it's very unfair that he wasn't in that team. And Colby as well. I mean, that Oak is a cheat card and he was left out. So there's a lot of, we'll come up with
that Cheslin wasn't in there.
We'll come up with
Cheslin and Will on my team on both sides. Like, why would you not have the two?
And
phenomenal team.
although Marks wasn't in the World Cup, if that team list isn't about the World Cup, then why the heck isn't Marks there?
Yeah.
But anyway,
okay, fair enough. True.
so we will continue this argument next week when we come out with our papers and have a look at who we would have.
Yeah.
And then what else is there? Anything else coming up, JJ? That's all that counts, really.
For now, that's all that counts. We're still celebrating the victory. Anybody see the scenes at Owatambo yesterday?
Yes, so I had a friend.
And
who
all
was
of them
there.
got given a lorry. Did you see the lorries?
Really?
I'll put up the clip on there.
Yes,
Every one of them got given a lorry.
With everyone?
Brand new Freightliner.
Everyone?
like a Gonyet.
Because they are the Gonyets.
That's insane. Because I had a mate there and it was phenomenal. He was showing me. And look, I'm going to go technical here, but as a designer, I'm like, that's a massive security risk considering SA. But I realized South Africa just had their trophy. The police are on the trophy. Everything else is like G. But it also shows you how peaceful we are. Even
so they were around Rassi.
The trophy got
protect the trophy, protect Rassi. Hey, if you're going to take Reebok.
Fair enough. So it was really cool to see that as well.
Can I just go back to two things?
Yeah.
You have no disrespect to the president of South Africa.
Yeah.
But you have a president that comes onto the podium and grabs the trophy and wants to be in front. Take all the limelight.
Yes.
And you have the architect of why you have that trophy.
Yes.
Rassi Erasmus standing at the back.
Yeah.
Like, you know what?
You can show us
you guys shine. In fact, we're going to put that up now.
Yeah.
And then also when they got to Owatambo,
Rassi was passing it.
Everybody is like, can understand the players all happy and everything.
Yeah.
But Rassi is just in the background and he's just.
But at the same time, look at it.
And he was getting a lot of
he wasn't even the coach, JJ. What are you talking about?
Well, you know what? You know what?
Yeah.
What's interesting is 2016 we got in Alistair Coetzee to coach Springboks.
Yeah.
And he did 2 years, and we went from second in world rankings to I think we went as low as 9th.
Yeah, we did.
Anyway, Rassi comes in 2018, and his words are, "I will get you the trophy in 2023. Do not expect it in 2019. We're building. If we get it in 2019, it's a bonus. But I will bring it home 2023.
That's very true. That's very true.
Man of his word.
And it's interesting that
and a lot of
that
backlash, we had from like the people there in South Africa. I was reading some of the comments and he was saying that his daughter's friends were coming to him and says,
when he made Khaleesi the captain.
yeah,
Yeah.
there was a lot of backlash.
Look, he knew what he was doing.
He knew what he was doing.
Thank God
he's a
he
very
did.
good man,
And
yeah.
what's interesting about that is we just come out of the Heineke Meyer era,
Yeah.
where South Africa are then complaining there's not enough transformation in the team.
Yeah.
And Heineke Meyer is now picking what I would call token players.
Yeah. True. Very true.
Rudy Page, putting
Yeah.
him at 9 because I need a player of color.
Yeah.
Whereas Rassi's actually come and said,
Yeah.
we have a
But
player
that
of color
being said,
that
JJ, in
is
all
able
honesty,
to lead the team.
the things they put in place and the way they set it all up has helped South African rugby.
Under Rassi?
No, under South African rugby, saying you have to pick X amount of players. The good thing about South Africa is the quality of the black players
Yeah.
is so good, and they're so big.
That's true.
They're massive
It is,
people.
but what I'm saying
You
is
know what I'm saying?
under Heineke Meyer, Heineke was under pressure and
Yeah.
randomly selected.
But
Yeah.
they weren't getting the exposure. They were the main players weren't getting paid as much.
Yeah.
Whereas now they had to. So it made sense for the Siya Khaleesi's to stay in South Africa and play for in South African ranks, because they would get the opportunity because they had to, and they would get the same amount of money. So what they did is what Zimbabwe needs to do is go to the junior schools and start selecting the
Absolutely.
junior schools from the government schools.
Yeah.
Because you can't just take from a select people.
Because he has money to go on tour.
Yeah. So that's what has to happen if Zimbabwe and the rest of Africa wants to turn this around. They can't rely on private school sector.
Only.
They need to start looking at the government schools and bringing those people in. And that's where they went. They would go literally and select. They did a OG St. George's under 14 for the whole of South Africa and chose every big oak they saw and said, right, you're coming into an academy, fed them, looked after them, and made it worth their while. And it's now coming through, and it's been how many years since what you're talking about, and that's how long it takes.
Yeah.
That's
So
100%.
It's a process.
But another thing we're facing in Zim is, okay, after upper 6, you finished your under 19 Craven Week. Then what's there? There's no academy
That
for
being
rugby.
said, again, if you set this up and you put that in place and you get the academies going and they've got something to stay for, and the thing is, the people that are at government schools will stick around.
Yeah.
They will. They have something to stay for.
So if you can say you go to Alan Wilson, you go and do a trade, you learn how to become a tradesman. So by the time you're 25, you're qualified in something, and you're playing club rugby for the academy, and then you get released into your teams. That's how it should be run. But the problem is the money doesn't get to the government school sector. It gets stolen by, I'm sorry to say, national team ZRU at the top, and it never gets trickle fed down to where it needs to go. So the goal is obviously to get that up and running. We've spoken about it. If there's any guys out there that are willing, I'm even willing to take up the task and go and create an academy. But we need money, and we need people to come forward and say we're happy to do that. Problem is, most of the money gets stolen by soccer.
And here's the thing as well, you bring it up, especially with Zim. The reason why I got a man crush on Kwaka Smith is because of like
so you have a crush on
He's going to be in his team.
it's because Kwaka
we know
has
he's got
clinical,
the best
you know what I
calves.
mean? With all that aside, like with Zim, I was like, let's stop trying to pretend we are as big as the Africans. You know what I'm saying? I've always said our game is faster, we're smaller. But Kwaka shows that you can be smaller, you can still have power.
But not anymore.
You can still have, no, okay,
Like
I
it's
know.
just bigger now.
But I'm saying you have size, you can be effective. You know, that's what I think we should be looking at more as Zimbos rather than trying to copy that same that pull set. And also in line with what you're saying, and I totally agree with you, Matt, as well, is managing. You know what I mean? Something I talked to some of the guys, like, you know, there's nothing stopping Oaks from, like us, let's say whoever's part of our union or whatever that may be, managing our players and saying, like, you've got talent, we don't have money to pay you, okay, let's get them into a club overseas or something like that, but with the agreement that when it's time for, you know what I mean, when they're young.
We do that. But the problem is you can't tie them down, and as soon as they get a better option with money, that you're gone.
But that's what I'm saying, a
100%,
contract.
and it's a
what I'm
problem.
saying, contract, but that's what I'm saying, managerial contract, where you say they can go there, but when we need them for the
It's
country,
complicated. Just do the right
It's
thing.
been tried.
Make the academies and
fair enough.
leave them
get-
run properly.
yeah.
That's it.
But I'd be willing to join them in a
Tie them
Give
into
them a
an
better
academy,
reason to stay.
and keep them here until they're 23. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
After they're 23, they can
Do
go.
whatever they want, yeah, but
But-
give them a reason to stay.
If they've got a good job and they're working in the right sector, and they
Yeah.
and they know that, and they will stick around.
Yeah.
They will.
And then our
100%.
national team will grow. And until we do that, it's going to be very difficult trying to hold them to an under 19
Yeah.
side which don't have money,
Yeah.
etc., etc. So, anyway, we'll put it out there. We'll try and get that out to everyone, and maybe next year we can get an academy going.
Yeah. And I'm
And we'll
people
see what
tired
we
of
can do.
losing, man. I'm like, for me, it's annoying.
And I'm telling you to start our academy from junior school now
Yeah.
and start growing them and have a 10-year plan is
Yeah.
the best plan. And
That's
not
the only plan.
That's the only plan, yeah.
100%.
Does that 10-year plan include offering Rassie a job?
Hey, at this
Who's
stage,
she?
I'm keen. I think
Yeah.
yeah.
Anyway, on that bombshell, gentlemen, we've got so much more we could go on about, but a wrap up of the World Cup. Well done to the Springboks, and we'll catch you guys next week, and we'll be more about the cricket. JJ, we're gonna have to watch some cricket.
Well, there's nothing else to watch.
Yeah,
That's
so
very true.
we'll catch you next week on the cricket. Thanks for joining in.
Mm.
All right.
Cheers.